Well, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in the Thai capital of Bangkok, where he will be attending the ASEAN-related summits. Ahead of his departure, Prime Minister Modi had tweeted that ASEAN-related summits are key elements of India's foreign policy and notably its Act East policy. The Indian Prime Minister will have a packed schedule during his three-day visit to Thailand, which will include a series of meetings with world leaders. Today, he will be addressing members of the Indian community in a short while from now. Prime Minister Modi will also be releasing a commemorative coin marking the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev. He will also release a Thai translation of the Tamil classic Thirukkural. Diplomatic engagements will begin on day 2 of the visit. Prime Minister Modi will also co-chair the 16th ASEAN-India Summit with his Thai counterpart Prayut Chan-o-cha, on whose invitation he is visiting the country. He will also take part in the 14th East Asia Summit later in the day before leaving for Delhi on November 4th. Meanwhile, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership or RCEP deal is set to be the highlight of his visit. RCEP, comprising 10-member ASEAN bloc and 6 other countries, India, China, Japan, South Korea, Australia and New Zealand, is touted to facilitate the creation of the biggest free trade region in the world. However, India is still engaged with the RCEP member countries to resolve some of the critical issues relating to the deal. There have been concerns that the deal would threaten domestic industry. Meanwhile, the deal has also been overshadowed by politics. The Malaysian authorities fear that that India might not sign the deal over Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad's remarks on Kashmir. And these are live visuals now coming in from Bangkok, where the Prime Minister is likely to address the Indian diaspora in a short while from now. So his engagements today, of course, with the diaspora. Tomorrow, all the important diplomatic meetings will be taking place. He will be addressing the India-ASEAN Summit Forum, and also later he will be part of the East Asia ASEAN Summit as well. And the highlight of all of this, of course, will be RCEP, as we said, which is key to the free trade agreement between the 16 countries.
All the VIPs, kindly be seated. Kindly be seated. All the VIPs who are coming back from the photo opportunity, kindly take your seats. Please find your seat very quickly. Please move fast. Any empty seat you see, please be seated. All the people on the ground, people on the floor, kindly be seated. Please proceed to your seat as soon as you can.
So clearly you can see those crowds there surging in Bangkok in anticipation of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He was likely to speak in just a few minutes from now, address the Indian diaspora there. Today, of course, he will be having no diplomatic engagements. Tomorrow, of course, will be the more important day in this 3-day visit to Thailand. Tomorrow, of course, he will be participating and addressing also the India-ASEAN Summit. He will also be attending the 14th East Asia Summit and the 3rd summit meeting of nations negotiating the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement on November 4th. And significantly, the Prime Minister will also be talking to and meeting the Chinese President Xi Jinping on the sidelines of the ASEAN Summit in Bangkok. Cultural events notwithstanding, this is an important visit for the Prime Minister in terms of business, economics and trade. This will be the second meeting between President Xi and Prime Minister Modi in 3 weeks after President Xi's visit to India earlier last month. The visit comes in the backdrop of China's remarks calling India's move to bifurcate the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir as null and void. Now, also in Bangkok, of course, there will be, as we said, leaders of Southeast Asia countries, and they will be trying to seal that RCEP deal. The deal is Beijing's way of cementing trade ties with Asia, and if signed, RCEP, or the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, will be the world's largest trade pact because it involves almost half of the world's population at 3.6 billion, with the 16 countries involved in the RCEP negotiation. This could, of course, comprise 30% of the global commerce as well. And if RCEP is signed, then India risks flooding its own market with cheap China-made goods. This is a major concern for the Indian side. And India is not against the pact, but New Delhi has said that some critical issues regarding this have to be ironed out. And meanwhile, ASEAN sources have told WION that the group is hopeful that India will sign the trade partnership as well. And just before leaving, the Prime Minister, of course, had also shared his thoughts about Bangkok, and particularly that trade deal that is RCEP. He had said that India's concerns ahead of the free trade agreement remain, and we will try to iron them out.